Kenneth Trester is in our virtual green room. He joins us on Author's Corner here on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney. The name of the book is Investing in an Era of Power, Control, and Corruption. We had a great off-air conversation. I think he has some very wise thoughts on things that all of you should be paying attention to. So, Ken, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, nice seeing you.
Let's talk about the book and what sent you in the direction of, you know what, I need to put a book out there and I need it to encompass all of this. What made you write it?
Well, because of the fact that our country is really going downhill, and we are a republic, but the republics only last about 240 years. We're in the 247th year, so we are in a bad time, and the problem we face is that our debt has gotten much too large. Our bureaucracy has gotten much too large, and our regulations have gotten much too large. And so based in that environment, I'm trying to teach you how to invest in that kind of a situation.
All right, so let's tackle that. So you're right. So you look at the events and you talk about that in your book leading us up to this. So now and we know the impacts, we're seeing the impacts of so much that's happened. I mean, we could talk about this for 10 hours. So take us down the school of thought of where do we need to go? What's in the book? Tell me a little bit more about the book.
Well, first of all, I kind of explains is what is happening. Again, we are a republic, but it's got 50 states. But the federal government has gotten much too large during that 50 states. And so therefore we have to kind of negotiate that kind of an obstacle. And of course, investing is a tough medium as it is, but now it is really tough. And the first thing you want to do is when you're investing, you want to make sure that you're investing in assets, not in any kind of a theoretical mess. For example, cyber securities, which are getting very popular now, they're really not worth anything. In other words, you're investing in air. And no matter what they say about what they're doing to try to make it something more than air, it's still air. It is not a real asset. So you want to invest in assets like gold, silver, stocks, but you don't want to be investing in, and you do not want to be investing in the currency itself, because the currency is dying. And in the next 5 to 10 years, I think that the currency will decrease by about 50% in value. So that's what we're trying to face with right at this point in time.
Yeah, in your history of doing this and having success with it, I mean, you have books on options and whatnot. Did you think we would get to this point where we're talking about, the dollar, where are we going with this, and the devaluation? Did you think we'd get here now?
Yes, I did. I do believe that, right? Because that's why I moved my residency to the Cayman Islands. Okay, for that one reason. Because I believe that we are really in a downward movement with the country. Now, we could save it, but I don't know if they will or not, because we have for example, in our regulatory environment, we now have 15 agencies, and that includes the FBI, and the ATF, and they are becoming more and more corrupt.
If you look to, and again, the book is Investing in an Era of Power, Control, and Corruption. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get it for a song. You can get paperback, or you can get Kindle. A lot of people like to read it that way. And even the description of the book says, the book shows you the secrets of investing using options in a corrupt system and a market where you can invest only 10 and make thousands of dollars. And, that'll pay off how many, 85% of the time. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we have a kind of unique approach, because the beauty with options is that you can wait for a stock price that you want to get. In other words, you're trying to get a good stock and price. You can wait for it, and you will earn money doing that by doing what we call writing options, or selling them, in other words. And you can do that. And I've been doing that for 40, 50 years. And it is probably the most unique way to earn money. And you earn money as you wait for a stock to hit a price that you want to buy in at. And as you wait, you earn money for doing that. And that's the beauty of options, is that you can write options, and by doing that, you earn money. It's like taking the bet at the racetrack. You're taking the bet, you're not making it. So most people who buy options are buying options, and that's not the way to go. The way is to sell options and earn money as you wait to get the prices you want to get. And that's what we call put writing, because a put is a bet that a stock is going to fall in price. When it falls a certain price, then you can get that stock at that price, but you earn money as you wait for that to occur. So the beauty with options is that you can do many more things with them than you can with stocks. And you can wait to get the right prices at the right time. And you can't do that with any other investment. So that's the unique feature of option trading.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talk about doing that 40, 50 years. Wow, I can't even imagine you being a newbie at that. How did you get interested in options?
Well, I basically had an interest in a seat on the first options exchange in 1973. And that's how I got started, and been trading ever since. Now, I was a college professor, and I still was at that point a college professor. But at that point in time, I basically had a interest in a seat on the Chicago Board Options Exchange, and that grew into what it is today, which is a very large exchange now, where you can trade options on almost any stock, and you can do a lot of things that you cannot do with regular investments. But you still should be trying to buy stocks and things that have assets. You don't want to buy currency, because that's the wrong way to go. You want to be buying stocks that have some kind of value or assets. And for example, AI is the thing right now, and you can buy stocks that work in AI. And that's one of the advantages of not buying currencies, but buying things that have value, or as we call assets.
Right, and certainly AI is the future, and it's just covering all of our conversations. Ken, everybody's
That's
talking
right.
about AI,
That's right.
right?
And the problem with AI is that it's very liberal. And for example, Google came out with their AI, and they had everybody who was a black person, even George Washington. So you got to be careful with AI, because right now it still has a lot of fraudulent indications. So you got to be careful with what you accept as far as it being AI. I'm just laying that out. Okay.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you ever think you would? I guess you would, because you were a college professor. You jumped in Chicago right when everything was started, right there at the beginning, which had to be exciting. Did you know it was going to take you to this place where you're going to have this success and become steeped in this knowledge?
Well, I really believe that options was the way to go. Okay. So and I wrote one of the first books ever on options, which was in the 1970s. And I still believe it's the way to go, because with options, you can do much more than you can with any other investment. You are much more flexible. You can buy very cheap options. And by the way, buying cheap options is a really good idea, but you got to buy them very cheap. And then you go for the big payoffs, but they do occur once in a while. So you never know when you're buying options, but you got to make sure when you're buying options, they're very cheap. When you're selling options or writing options, they're more expensive, of course. So you want to take advantage of those two factors.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you can really do a really good job of investing if you do it with options.
Right.
And that's why I've been in the options markets for 50 years.
Yeah.
So.
What's your best hit, or one that you just think about? Wow, I pegged this right. Everybody has.
Okay. I remember in 1987, in my newsletter, I recommended an option for 1/16th. It had about 3 months left in it. And 1/16th is about $6.25. Okay, that's the total. That's about as much as a cup of coffee today for $6.25. And that's option went up to $1,800, which is a dramatic increase, of course.
Wow.
And the thing is, and this is the important thing to remember, is that a lot of events in the stock market will cause much bigger changes in price than are statistically possible normally. So we call it the me stocks, which are like GME, which is one of these stocks that jumped up dramatically and caused a tremendous amount of profit for those who bought it. Those options can really cause very big gains, but very little losses if you do and buy them.
Wow. All right, so that's a good one. Boy, oh boy, lucky you. Again, the name of the book is Investing in an Era of Power, Control, and Corruption. And there are several other books that you've written too. As you said, you wrote a book right from the very beginning. I mean,
yes,
you have 101 option trading secrets, understanding ETF options, the complete options player, the fifth edition or something of that. So, yeah.
The thing to remember now is that options are a lot more flexible than you think, and it's these days, if you don't buy options, you're really not participating as you should in the stock market.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Kenneth, it was great speaking with you. Thank you so much for coming on. And again, this book is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Thank you very much, Kate.
Visit us at www.greatwritersmedia.com. Email us at info@greatwritersmedia.com or call us at +1 877 556